Okay, guys, so we're gonna be doing these owls this time. Here's my sample so far. Here's this one, okay? I wanted it to be a little bit floofier, so I made these just a little bit wider, okay, than when I made that one. You're gonna get a pencil, and then we'll also have some stencils for you. I didn't get mine cut in time, but I really need to make this video now, so we're rolling with it, okay? So what we're gonna do first is we're gonna draw down here the branch. So you're gonna have a pencil, and I want you to draw the branch right here, like it's going up and into a tree, okay? And then down here, we're gonna draw another line for like the bottom of the branch. And I'm gonna leave a little bit here of sky, okay? And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna come up here and we're gonna give our owl these kind of like triangle ears. Now look, this is not how they're gonna look when we paint them, okay? You can see mine have, it's fluffy and they're coming up and out, okay? So we're just drawing them there so we kind of have an idea, okay? And then I'm gonna cut you guys some circles for eyes, okay? And you can draw your eyes how you want to. I like for mine to touch. If you want them to be separated, you can. But I'm just gonna scribble circle some eyes like this. And then I'm gonna draw a triangle for the beak, okay? All right, so most of the rest of this is gonna be painted. These are just our construction lines. And today we're gonna do our background because we want our floofies. Our owl is gonna have a lot of texture and it's gonna be kind of fluffy, okay? And so we want that to overlap our background. So if our background isn't painted, then it's just gonna be really hard to try to paint our background up into that, all right? Now owls come out at night, so you get to choose your owl colors next week. But this week we're gonna do 3 levels of blue, okay? And we're gonna do a nighttime scene. And then next week you can choose your colors for your owl, okay? That's where you'll get to be kind of creative. So I'm going to start at the top with this darkest blue. You're gonna get dark blue, medium blue, and a really light blue. And we start at the top with the dark blue. And you're just gonna paint that down, let's say, to about the top of the owl's head right there, okay? Gonna be a solid dark blue. And we want it to go right up to the owl's face and ears, not necessarily into it, but right up to it. And then also you want to paint your edges as you go. So once you're done with the top of this section, that's called wrapping the canvas. Okay, so we want to wrap the canvas as we go so that we don't have to come back and do it. And it'll match what's going on top of our canvas. So this area will be the dark blue, and then as we go down, it'll be the medium blue, and then the lighter blue at the bottom. Okay, now that my section is done, I'm just coming through and making sure all my brush strokes are nice and smooth, that I'm smoothing everything out. I don't have any really, really thick spots. All right, and you're gonna notice I don't really rinse my brush that much. So if you wanna rinse your brush between colors, you can. Just make sure you dry it off really good. But I'm not gonna rinse my brush because I kinda want these colors to blend anyway. So now I'm gonna come down with this medium color to about here, okay? And you're just gonna fill that in. And I'm going to show you on this side how we're going to blend the dark into the lighter blue, the medium blue. And then you'll do both sides. And don't forget, we want to come all the way around our owl and all the way up to our branch. Okay, so now what I'm going to do without rinsing my brush, I'm going to go back to the dark and I'm just going to kind of blend it like this. I'm gonna go back and forth. I'm gonna go up into the dark a little bit and then back down into the medium blue. And that is what's gonna blend it. And especially since this blue is still wet, it's gonna blend down. And then you also want to wrap your canvas and paint your edges, okay? Okay, so finally we're gonna take that lightest blue and we're gonna work it back up into this blue. I'm gonna take a second, like I did with the last one, and kind of smooth everything out. and make sure everything looks good. And I don't have any thick spots. I did drop a piece, that's fine. Next week we're gonna paint our owl and it should cover it. But also if you drop some in the middle, we have baby wipes and that will just take it right up. I just didn't feel like getting up and getting one. Okay, and you can stop this dark color a little higher too. If you wanted to stop it here, that's fine. So again, I'm not gonna rinse my brush, but I'm gonna wipe it off a little bit. So if you have a paper towel there, you might just wipe it off. And then I'm gonna get this light blue. So we're gonna start with the light blue down here and work our way up, okay? So did not rinse my brush, so it's blending really well with the color that was on there, which is good. And I'm just going up and almost into my branch there. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap my canvas down here and get that painted. Make sure it's got a nice solid cover. Okay, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this light blue and we're gonna work it up into the area above it, just a little bit. Just want it to be a little bit lighter, okay? If you feel like I'm kind of feeling like this is really dark still and this is really light, you can always take that color that's on your brush and go over it again. And that might help like darken that up a little bit. Same thing here. I'm gonna start down here and work my way up. And it's okay if you get into your owl a little bit. You don't wanna be crazy with it, but we are gonna paint over him next week. And I'm wrapping my canvas the same color that I'm using there. Okay, and now the final thing is we're gonna do our branch. Now I want you guys to take a minute and blow dry. You don't have to worry about this section up here because we're not doing our stars today. We're gonna do those next week, okay? But you do need to blow dry down here around where your branch is, okay? So just get it a little bit dry. It doesn't have to be totally dry and then come back. I'm not gonna blow dry mine, but you guys can for just a couple of minutes, okay? All right, so now you're gonna have two browns. You're gonna have a kind of medium brown and a light brown. We're not gonna go super dark on our browns. And, oh, see, there you go, there's another one. If I had a wipey, I'd just wipe it up. Okay, so I like to start with my dark brown and I just lay my dark brown color in. You can use, if you want to, this smaller paintbrush for your branches, okay? You don't want to use it for this part. That might take forever. We're using a big paintbrush because we're trying to get a lot done in one day. And you can see I didn't get mine dry. I told you I wasn't going to blow dry mine. You can see I'm getting some blues in there, but I'm okay with that. I think it just adds a little something. If your branch gets a little wider than you intended it to be, that's okay. Mine's getting a little wider, so I'm just rolling with it. Okay, and then I'm going to wrap the edge with where that branch is and wrap the edge where this branch is. Okay, now I'm going to use this smaller brush and I'm going to put a couple of branches down here at the end. You don't have to do this. If you want to, you can. On mine, I don't have any leaves, but that's something you could add next week if you want to. I'm not going to do leaves today. And you can see there's some blue showing up. That's okay on mine. So I've got a couple of those. And then I'm going to come back in with this light brown. And I'm just gonna do some blending. And what that's gonna do is just give it some different values. All I'm doing is taking some of that light brown and just kind of blending it in so I get some different values of brown. Okay, so our goal this week was to get some different values to shade our sky, have that ombre effect. and then to get some different values in our trunk. And then next week we're gonna come back and paint our owl. So this is as far as we're going today. And then next week we get to paint our owl in, okay? Awesome job, you guys.